Hey my friends, this is Daniel Aldie, and today I want to talk with you about 5 financial sins that you need to completely avoid. So listen up. The first financial sin that you should completely avoid are emergency funds. Now I know that a lot of people are probably going to tell you, well, you need to save for just an emergency. But here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if your only reason for saving money is for an emergency fund, then you're never going to get rich. What I'm basically saying is that if you look into most people's bank accounts, what you're going to find is that they only have enough money saved up for an emergency. But what I'm telling you is that you need to start saving up for an investment. When you start saving up for an investment, you'll start thinking even bigger and you'll find investments that can take you even further. Let's take an example of 2 guys, Fred and Jason. Fred actually wants to save money for an emergency fund because he wants to play it safe and he wants to have that security in his life. But Jason, on the other hand, he knows that he wants to save up for an investment. He wants to invest in his real estate business. And he knows that he's going to need $100,000 in order to do it. Who do you think is going to have more money if they decide to save? Now with these 2 examples, obviously you can see that Fred is saving in scarcity with the mentality of fear, whereas Jason is saving with the ideas of investing his money. And because he has a greater purpose, his money is going to go even further, faster, because he knows exactly what he's doing. Remember, money reacts to your attitudes about it. So if you firmly believe in your heart of hearts that an emergency might come up, then it will. But if you really think that you have something bigger than what may become an emergency, then you will find that your money will grow larger and larger. Also remember that money doesn't like scared people. So if you have a scared mentality about how your money actually operates, then your money will disappear from your hands. Also remember that money likes to be freely given and also freely received. In fact, I like to make this positive affirmation all the time. I receive and give money freely, frequently, and easily. One last thing about emergency funds is that it forces you to act conservatively. But remember that money doesn't like to be conserved, it likes to be expanded. It loves to be multiplied. So save for investments and never for emergency funds. The second financial sin that you need to absolutely avoid is acting rich. You can't buy $500 Gucci shoes if you only make $500 a week. It doesn't make any sense, nor does it make dollars. There's an old saying that poor people act rich and rich people act poor. And that's the reason why poor people are poor and rich people are rich. It's far more important to have the mindset of being rich than to just appear to look rich, to just impress other people, to show them, hey look, I'm rich. When it comes to spending your money, you have to be wise with where your money goes. Let's say you have $100 and you want to buy a shirt for $100. That shirt may last for 2 years. But let's say you want to go to a conference at the same price. Now the price of the conference is $100, but it will last far longer than 2 years. It may last the rest of your life. When I first started my journey, I realized that I could either act rich or I could actually become rich. I could act rich by buying all these high-priced clothing and even jewelry and impress people, or I can be rich by investing in myself and later on investing in my business. And I found out that investing in myself and my business was the best thing to do. And now I can buy all the clothes that I want because of it. You know what I mean? To tell you the truth, I started at a thrift store. I remember I would go in and I would buy $5 suits and $1 ties. And I would buy them in abundance and I would try them out. Some of them didn't work, but some of them did. And I kept those suits until I made the kind of money that I wanted to earn. What are you guys going to do when it comes to spending your money? Don't act rich, be rich. The third financial sin that you need to completely avoid are get-rich-quick schemes. Now the reason why I'm saying this is that a lot of people who are producing these get-rich-quick schemes know that there's a multitude of people who are desperate and vulnerable and will be willing to give their money in order to get rich quick. Let me tell you something really important. Getting rich quick will never last. The faster you get your wealth, the faster it will go away. But if you learn exactly how to get your wealth in the most righteous manner, then the longer you'll have more substantial and sustainable wealth. Now sometimes I hear a lot of people that tell me, Daniel, I lost 5,000 here, or I lost 50,000 here, or 100,000 there. That really hurts because these people had good intentions. The only problem is that they had the wrong direction. They knew they had the money and they knew they wanted to get rich, but they didn't follow the exact procedure on how to do that. Let me tell you something important. If you see something out there that looks promising, a lot of money, ask yourself, Is this something that I actually like to do? Is this something that I actually want to do? Because if it's not, then you probably shouldn't pursue it. For example, I hear a lot of people talking and they tell me, Daniel, I want to get into cryptocurrency. I want to get into real estate. I want to get into affiliate marketing. I want to do business on Amazon or on YouTube. But the real question is that, do you really like doing this or do you just want money? Because if you just want money, then you won't like doing this. Remember folks, you have to absolutely love what you're doing. If you don't see results within 6 months and you really feel that you need to be dropping out, then you need to do it right away. Remember, when in doubt, throw it out. The fourth financial sin you should completely avoid is unawareness. There's a lot of people that go about their lives and they're completely unaware of where their money actually is. A lot of times society will dock us with things like fees and taxes, and so we have to be aware of where our money is actually going. Print out your bank statements and take a look of how much money you're actually making and how much money society is actually taking. When you are more aware of how much money you're spending, then you will make better decisions in the future. The other day I was talking to someone, but they didn't know what their credit score was. I asked them, 500s? 600s? 700s? They didn't know. I told them to call up the 3 major credit bureaus and find out exactly what your credit score is so that you can understand more about your credit. They told me, well, Daniel, I don't like to get involved with credit cards because my mom told me it wasn't a good idea. My friends, credit cards are extremely good if you know how to use it, but you have to know how to use it. Now I can go all into this, but let me just say that credit cards, or credit in general, is used to help you build asset fast enough so that you can pay off the debt that you would owe. But usually a lot of people get that confused and they spend their money, their credit, on liabilities, which ends up getting them in trouble because interest rates end up killing them in the long run. But anyways, focus on building your awareness. Ask yourself, how am I earning, spending, saving, investing, and giving my money away? And even ask yourself, what can I do to become better in my financial situation? When you start asking these questions, you're going to position yourself in a way that will help you to become financially abundant. The fifth financial sin that you should completely avoid is complacency. There's a lot of people who settle for the position that they're in and they never want to go higher because they make the conservative choice. My friends, I truly believe that if you want to become wealthy, you can't be conservative. You have to dive head first. You have to take a risk and you have to believe in yourself. Let's take, for example, Jim Carrey's father. He always wanted to be a comedian, but he made that conservative choice I was talking about. He decided to become an accountant. Can you imagine an accountant? Unfortunately, his father got fired from that job, which meant that he couldn't put food on the table or roof over his head. That didn't stop Jim Carrey from making jokes because he knew that he wanted to take the risk and he became a multi-million-dollar comedian, leaving a check of over $1 million in his father's coffin. Guys, remember, the richest place in the world is the graveyard. There's so many people that had dreams, but never tried it all. There's so many people that wanted to start a business, but never made it happen. There's so many people that had the bat, but never swung because they really didn't want to. They were afraid. They were afraid of failure. They're afraid of criticism. They're afraid of going broke. Don't let that be you. To my fellow entrepreneurs, you shouldn't aim at succeeding at a job. You should aim to get out of it and start your business right now. Guys, there's no room for settling. We only have so much time in this life. So make sure you go out there and live the life that you knew you were divinely designed to live. These are the 5 financial sins that you need to absolutely avoid. If you want more information about what I do and how I can help you, check out my website. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel because I know it has a ton of value and I know that you can benefit greatly from studying more of these inspiring videos. I'll see you again.